All right, what's up, everybody? We're back here. Diamond Dialogues. We're here. We're going to do another baseball breakdown here for you. Some more first and third offense and defensive plays here. The Pirates and the Brewers had a couple over their series, and the Phillies and Reds had another one that didn't go in favor of the Phillies this time around. So let's just dive into it. Right, if you're a high school coach, a high school player, college player, and you're watching your favorite team play, and you're wondering, why don't these teams ever run a first and third offense? Like, why is there no early breaks or gamble steals, whatever you want to call it, delayed steals? Why don't they ever do that? Well, first things first, you've got a catcher who's elite, right? They're popping 1/8s, 1/9s, right? So you're not really getting as many stolen bases off them, okay? And then the middle infielders, for the most part, they can easily just catch the ball in the middle and throw a dart right back to the catcher at home plate. That's why, for the most reason, there's really no early breaks or anything like that, right? The pitcher does it. Like, you run an early break in high school and college because the game speeds up on the player. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to speed the game up on the player. These guys are so prepared and so dialed in and so locked in at all times that it doesn't speed up. They're calm. They've done this play so many times in their careers. I mean, they work on it in spring training. I mean, you don't really work on it throughout the season for the most part. So, I mean, you do, throughout spring training and then hope it doesn't happen that often, but it obviously has happened quite a bit so far. So that's why there's really not much first and third offensive plays being run, by MLB teams. But here's one here, the Pirates and the Brewers. We've got Bryce Turang at first and Joey Weimer at third, right? Falter on the mound. It's a 1-0 game, third inning. Now, I don't know, the Brewers too well. I don't know if Bryce Turang's a good runner or not, but, we've got a first and third steal. You're running right away off the left. You're running on first movement there. High pitch, which is basically a pitch out at that point for the catcher. And there you obviously don't see the runner at third, what he does there. But the runner at second, here's what happens, right? So Jared Triolo is playing second base. He's covering. Now, again, in high school and college, you've got these plays. You've got the cutoff play by the second baseman, right? You've got the throw back to the pitcher to try and get the guy on third base to jump. You've got the fake throws, which the Reds do in the next clip I'll show. You've got all those plays. Here, it's just a simple throw it down. The middle guys read whatever happens here at third base, right? So Joey Weimer in this situation, watch what he does, right? The runner goes, Weimer fully breaks the home plate, right? That's what Triolo is seeing in this moment, right? Shoulders are square to home plate here. So Triolo reads, instead of just catching this and putting the tag down on Turang and getting the out, he reads this runner is going home, so he decides to come off of the play at second and go home with it. Now, obviously, Joey Weimer pump fakes him, doesn't go home, and Triolo has to end up now second and third, one out. Now, I don't know if Weimer does this because Turang's not a good runner. He's not a plus runner at first base, and he's like, I got to buy him some insurance here to make sure he's safe at second, or if this was just a play that Weimer thought about doing the whole time. But it's a great play here, and Triolo does a good job. He reads it well. He sees the shoulder square to home plate, and comes off the play and says, I'm going to throw it home here, and he would have been dead out if he went. But also look at Weimer here as well. Look at this play. Weimer isn't in a full break. It's a conservative break by him as well. So here's the throw. He's still not even square, and the ball's at the pitcher's mound. He goes there, right? He goes early enough to make sure that Triolo has to make a decision on the runner at second base now. And he does a good job there. Triolo ends up coming off the bag, so it's second and third then for the Brewers with one out as opposed to runner on third, 2 outs. All right, so now we go to the Phillies and the Reds now. Okay, you got Bohm at first base. There you see the score. It's top of the fifth, middle of the game, 2 outs, first and third. A 1-2 count, which is important in this situation, and Phillies are up 2-1, right? So in a 1-2 count, you might, if you're at this level, or if you're in high school or college and you're a catcher, you might think, hey, 1-2 count. The pitcher here, he's dealing right now against this guy. He's, Merrifield's 0 for 2 against him all night. Hey, he might have this at bat in his hands. Let's not make any long throws, right? So Stevenson here, pump fakes. Pump fakes immediately, and obviously Trey Turner, he's in a little bit of a pickle now. He's in no man's land. Now, here's the thing, right? If there's less than 2 outs, the guy who's stealing right here, Alec Boehm, you've got to be going to third hard. Okay, so you've got to get to third base in this situation, and you'll take the out here, and then you just replace him there. That's what you do if there's less than 2 outs, but there's obviously 2 outs, so Turner's got to do whatever he can to try and score. All right, so let's speed it up here a little bit. They do get Turner out, obviously. But Tyler Stevenson, this probably wasn't a play or anything, but obviously this is something that, teams do have in their toolkit. They'll call this out, no throws or whatever. I just think that Stevenson thought the pitcher had Merrifield, in his back pocket. He knew he was going to get him out in this at bat. So Stevenson makes up his decision and says, I'm not going to make a long throw in this moment and, give Turner the chance to score here. Instead, I'm just going to keep it, pump fake it. So here we go. Here's the pitch. And Turner, he's just jailbreaking. He sees Stevenson pop up out of his stance and just immediately runs. Now, Stevenson, I know what they say in high school and college. You take that little peek outside to see if he's on a full dead sprint. I don't know if Stevenson does this or not. I can't really tell from this angle, but he does do a good job in this moment. As you can see, Turner's jailbreaking, trying to score immediately. Even if he does, the second baseman reads it, Turner's safe standing up. So great job there by Stevenson and the Reds. Turner blew his consecutive stolen base streak as well in that situation. And then a good job just running him all the way back to the bag as well. All right, so we go now again back to the Pirates and the Brewers here. You got first and third again, 2 ranks at first, Frelick's at third, and then Henry Davis and Triolo are the tandem here. Now this one, you see the score, right? Brewers are trying to get a run here. They're trying like hell, late inning game, top of the 6th. It's a 1-run game. They're trying like hell to get a run here with 1 out. Davis behind the dish. Runners moving. Davis throws this one down. This time, the runner does break from third, and Triolo this time reads it again very well. See, if he stays in this bag here, dead out. 2 ranks, dead out at second base. That's an out right there, and it's 2 outs and a 4-2 Milwaukee game. Instead, Triolo comes off the bag, throws a dart home. That's a strike. Look how far out he is. I mean, there's no chance for Frelick to even score here. That's an amazing play right there. Heads up baseball, high baseball IQ play there by Frelick at Triolo at second. Again, there you see it. They don't show you the angle of third base, but look at Triolo. Triolo reads this so early because look how far out in front of the bag he is. He doesn't even sit at the bag. He's in the cutout right here at second base, reading this play, and then just throws a dart home. Easy play, out by a mile. So that's it, right? That's all the first and thirds that, again, the MLB, they don't have plays, specific plays like, play 1, play 2, play, they don't have that. For the most part, it's just, they might just throw it back to third, or they might just do what Tyler Stevenson does and no long throws in a situation, or, big moments. They're not going to throw a dart back to the pitcher. That doesn't happen in the MLB. So they just do simple stuff, throwing it down because everybody can make those throws that Triolo just did to home plate. Now, I know the other day we had a different situation with Turner and Harper in first and third. That was a different one. That was a rundown situation, but this one, very good job. All great reads by the middle infielders and the catchers. So 3 different first and third scenarios that you should look over if you're a high school coach or a college coach or high school player, college player, trying to learn the game a little bit more and, what to do in certain situations. Just watch the game. The game teaches you everything. The game, you watch these MLB guys, the game doesn't speed up for them. They're calm. They're prepared for every single moment that's going to happen in the game, and that's why they're so good at what they do. All right, so that's all I've got. That's the breakdowns from me. Another first and third defense. We've got more that we'll come out with next week, probably. I've got some in the tank. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this week in some games, and we'll keep bringing you some breakdowns. Thanks for listening.